What is up, people? Welcome back to Blue Chip Prospect for another video. Today, no intro, no nothing. It's the part 2, so let's get this started right away. And at number 5, I have Simon Edvinsson. He was picked 6th overall in 2021. He's a left shot two-way defenseman who stands at 6'6". He did very well in his draft plus 1 in the SHL. He also did very well in his draft plus 2 in the AHL. He compares to players like Justin Falk, Ryan Pulock, or Justin Barron in their respective draft plus 2. He had 27 points, 5 goals in 52 games, so it's not like amazing, but it's still good. His total primary points is at 51.9%, which is okay. His even strength goals for percentage at 51%, which is okay. But primary points per 60 at 0.8, power play over even strength at 7 for 27, and shot percentage at 6.6%. So it's hard to understand why I would put him at number 5 with what I just said, but the thing is that the size and skating and puck skills ratio of that guy is just unheard of. Like, there's really not a lot of defensemen of that size that can skate like him and can move the puck like he does. There's Hedman, and that's about it. I'm not saying the ceiling is Hedman. I don't think so. Hedman was one of the best defensemen, if not the best defenseman for many seasons, so I doubt that, but still there's a really high ceiling with Simon Edvinsson. Outside of the size and skating ratio, the defense is overwhelming. Whether it's against the rush, he can just destroy you physically, and if it's in zone defense, he can just pin you against the board. He can box you out. He's really defensively. You can plug him in on any NHL team right now, and he will play defense really well on any NHL team. I'm not sure the offense is there yet. I would leave him another year in the AHL so he can round up his game. But that's not my decision, and I don't think they will do that anyway. But outside of that, yeah, great defender. Just needs to work a little better on his offense. But the transition is there. The defense is there. Yeah, he's a future first pair defender for sure, in my opinion. And at number 4, I have Simon Nemec, who was picked 2nd overall in 2022. He's a right shot two-way defenseman who stands at 6'1". He had a very good draft plus 1 in the AHL. He had 34 points, 12 goals in 65 games. That's better than what Sider did, so there's that. In terms of advanced stats, he had total primary points of 70.6%, even strength goals for percentage at 55.4%, primary points per 60 at 0.97, PPEV 634, and shot percentage at 8.7%. So stats wise, whether it's advanced stats or his stats in the AHL, it's been amazing all year. I think one of the best ways to describe Simon Nemec's game is smooth. Whether it's the skating, the stick handling, the passing, everything is just smooth. He always looks calm and collected, whether it's on defense, transition, on offense. He never looks stressed. You can apply double forecheck on him and he will just skate his way out, or stick and hold his way out, and he will not break a sweat. It just looks easy. The game looks easy for him compared to other players like Simon Edvinsson, who I was talking to. When he's trying to transition or play on the offensive zone, it doesn't look as smooth or as easy for him as it is for Simon Nemec. It's just different. They're a different type of defender, obviously, but it's just the way it looks. It's just different. I think he has very high IQ. He understands very well how to execute plays. He's always scanning the ice. He always know where his players are. He always know where the forecheckers are. He always have like an option A, and when the option A fails, he always had an option B in his head to rely on if option A failed. I think he's not as dynamic as I originally thought. But so maybe the offensive game is not going to be as high as I thought it would be, but I think it's still going to be really good. I think in the future, 40 points, two-way defenseman is really something that can happen for Simon Nemec. Other than that, I mean, maybe he can work on his strength, but he's so complete. He's going to be a very good defender for the New Jersey Devils. It's kind of crazy the team they're building. So yeah, good job. Since this ranking is mostly about potential and not who they are at this moment, I decided to stick my neck out and put Dimitri Sashev at number 3. He was picked 6th overall in 2023. He's a left shot two-way defenseman who stands at 6'4", 200 pounds. He had He had a great end of the season, but the season as a whole wasn't very impressive, with 12 points in 33 games in the MHL, with most of it coming after the second half, but he did have a much better playoff with 6 points in 10 games. In terms of advanced stats, his total primary points were 66.7%, his even strength goals for percentage at 77.3%, primary points per 60 at 0.8, power play over even strength at 3 over 12, and shot percentage at 1.8. Not promising. All right. So, in the same way that Simon Edvinsson is a unicorn because of the size and skating and handling, same thing happened with Sashev, but he's a much better skater and also much better at misdirection and deceptiveness in his game. Obviously, not a lot of people are gonna agree with my number 3 placement of Sashev, but this is just my opinion, and when I look at him, I see a player that we almost never see. You never see a guy that is 6'4", 200 pounds, that is deceptive like he is, that skates like he does. Obviously, it's not like deceptive like Lane Hudson. That's another level, because you need to be small and you need to be light on your skate to be able to do what he does. But to do what Sashev can do at 6'4", 200 pounds is almost unheard of. Like, there's a world where none of this pans out. Like, I was super high on Philip Broberg and I thought he deserved where he was picked, and it's not turning out very good for now, so I might be very wrong. But when I look at what Sashev is doing and the way he defends against the rush and the way he defends in the zone and the way he can transition the puck so easily and with ease, and the way he skates and the way he's deceptive in everything that he does, it's hard not to see an elite defender at the NHL level. So that's why I have him at number 3. Like I said, it might be completely wrong, but I want to stick my neck out for this one because I just love his game and I think it's so translatable to the NHL. Even if he doesn't become like a great offensive defenseman in any kind of way, he's going to be a great defender and he will be able to transition the puck extremely easily at the NHL level because of that size, because of that reach, because of that defense, and because of that skating. So yeah, it might be high for some of you, but Dimitri Sashev at number 3, I think it's totally deserved. And at number 2, and this was a hard decision, it's more like a 1A, 1B type of situation because I love both players equally, but I had to put 1 and 2 and 1 at 1. So I decided to go with Hughes at number 2, who was picked 4th overall in 2021. He's a left shot offensive defenseman who stands at 6'2", 183 pounds. He had the best draft plus 2 season in the NCAA in the 2000s, so that's amazing, and that's including players like Cale Makar. And he had 48 points in 10 goals in 39 games. So amazing in terms of stats. In terms of advanced stats, a bit like Lane Hudson, the NCAA doesn't provide much. So he has a total primary points percentage of 64.6%, PPEV of 16 over 48, and a shot percentage of 7.4%. I think that of all the defensemen on this list, Hughes has the highest ceiling of them all. He could very well be like a top 5, top 10 defenseman in this league, and a power play 1 type of defenseman, and not just a big shot from the point, but really like the main distributor, the main chance creator and playmaker at 5v5 and on the power play, the guy who takes the puck from defense and transition it to offense in an instant. Obviously, some things are going to need to get better. He does have some brain cramps sometimes defensively, even offensively, and even in transition sometimes he's lagging or something. He has issues with timing, defensive gaps, and he creates a lot of turnovers like most high-end offensive Ds. But outside of that, his playmaking and his skating and his physical tools, they're all so good that his offense will cancel out any problem that he has defensively, and his transition will help his team so much going from defense to offense extremely quick. So like I said, I think he has the highest ceiling, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being a top 10, top 5 defenseman in the league. And at number 1, I have David Jiricek. He was picked 6th overall in 2022. Probably would go first in a redraft. Maybe Cooley, I don't know, but it would be first or second maybe. He's a right shot, 2-way defenseman who stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. He had one of the very best draft plus 1 in the AHL with 38 points, 5 goals in 55 games. In terms of advanced stats, he had a total primary points of 65.8%. Even strength goals for percentage at 46.9%, primary points per 60 at 1.2, PPEV 24/38, and shot percentage at 5.9%. So a bit like Mintyukov, it's really hard to find something to dislike about Jiricek's game. Like, maybe if you want to nitpick, you would say that his skating is not as good as you want it to be, but for a guy that's 6'3", 210 pounds, he's certainly NHL average. I don't think it's gonna hold him back, but obviously if you better is always better, right? So, but he brings so much to the table with his size and his defense and the big shot, the gap control, the transition defense. He's just really good at almost everything. He pushes players along the board, he box out every player, he puts his stick into passing lanes, he transitions the puck very efficiently, whether it's through pass or through skating. He activates an offense like a real offensive defenseman. He goes up and down, east-west all the time. He's a great passer. He puts the puck on stick and flat on the ice. I mean, I don't know what else you want from a defenseman, but he sure looks like a home run to me because he can defend at a very, very high level. Like a bit like Sashev, he can defend at a really, really high level, but Jiricek also bring a lot of offense to the game. It's not just the shot. He's also a great playmaker. He's also a great passer. He understands how to create offense. He scans the ice all the time. He knows where the player are. He knows what to do to create open spaces for his teammates. So overall, I think he's almost a sure shot to be a first pair defenseman. I think he's also going to play on the power play because he's just so smart and he activates in the offense all the time. So that's going to help him a lot. Yeah, so David Jiricek at number 1. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you like the content that I'm making, please take the time to like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.